understand is that the challenges we have today needs big hearts, right? Love, compassion, kindness, those are some of the values we must cultivate. Because no matter what it is, when we lead with love, we arrive at a better solution. Because what's happening today in the world is that 50% of the people have nothing to say but they are speaking, right? Divisive hatred rhetoric. And the other 50%, people like us, we are silent. So we need to speak up. We need to speak up. If you came in and you saw the picture of Audre Lorde, I want you to go back and read that comment again. Because she talks about using the strength of her vision for service, and that nothing makes her afraid because of that. So the question we need to ask is, do you understand your power? Do you understand your power? Your power is not just brute force, but your ability to bring people together like this and to do something in your community. That is where the true power lies. So I remember Dr. King once asked, what is your blueprint? So how many of you have a blueprint? Yes, we all need to have a blueprint. Because imagine constructing a building without a blueprint. It is a plan. We need a plan, otherwise the structure is shaky. The building will collapse, right? So what is your plan? That is what we must talk about and focus moving forward. So first, I want to suggest 3 things to your blueprint, but you can build your own. One is become a better person. You all must be great people, but we can always do better. Self-reflection is very critical, because what happens in us is we have about 75,000 thoughts a day. How many of those thoughts are negative and how many are positive? 80% of those thoughts are negative. Yeah? Am I right? Am I exaggerating? But that's the science, you know. So what we do is we wake up with a thought, right? And then based on that thought, we have an emotion. And then we have an action. We do something. And then unless we are mindful, we are recycling our day, our thoughts, what we can do. So think of this. The first thought that comes out of you when you get out of the bed has to be a positive one. Because you have to monitor yourself. Otherwise, we don't know where the thoughts are coming from. Do you agree? They just come, right? Like a flood. We have no control. So that is why we want to observe the observer. Observe yourself as you wake up. Okay? And then just remember that you are more powerful than you know. George Washington Carver had 300 uses for the peanut. 300 uses for a small, tiny peanut. Shampoo, jams, tires. I mean, name it, he had a vision for a peanut. So what do you think is your power and your ability to make a change in the world? Okay? So in order to be very mindful of your thoughts. And then what we need to do is don't major in minor things. Yeah, right? Yeah, because the work we do is such that blame and shame is a part of that work. So don't try to major in minor things. Forgive. Forgive because it's good for you. Not because you're weak. Forgive someone because it's good for you. And third, and the most important is organize. Organize. I'm all about organizing, you know. Unless we organize, we won't have power. Today, if we have an issue here, downtown here, who will be more effective? One person standing up and speaking about it, or 100 of us who are here together speaking up for it. So that is an art. We have to come together, find people with common interests. Otherwise, you might put the wrong people in the right bus and you'll get disappointed. So understanding who you are first is very critical for us to understand what we are here to do. Okay? And do it not because you're a Muslim or a Bangladeshi, do it because you are a human being. and you're American. That should come up first. So then we have all a responsibility to make life better for ourselves and for our country and our community. Look at Prophet Muhammad. If you look at Moses, if you look at Jesus, they weren't without struggle and strife. They didn't have a PR campaign. They didn't have social media, but they mobilized people, right? Because they believed in their cause. So ask yourself, what are you believing in? What are you believing in? What are your gifts, talents, and abilities? So I want to leave with this last word, quote by Dr. King. You know, he says, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But for goodness sake, don't wait without doing anything. Thank you.